Have you ever argued with yourself and lost? No, seriously. You're just standing there, alone, and somehow there's a full debate going on in your head like it's a courtroom drama. That's because you don't have one voice in your head, you have three, and they do not get along. Let me introduce them. The first voice is the dreamer, the second voice is the lazy one, and the third voice is the critic. And if you've ever said, why am I like this? It's probably because these three are fighting for control. Let's start with the dreamer. The dreamer wakes up at 2 a.m. with a full life plan. This is it. Tomorrow we wake up at 5 a.m. Gym, cold shower, start a business, read 20 pages, no junk food, new life. The dreamer believes in you more than your own mom. The dreamer sees you as a future millionaire, influencer, athlete, genius, all at the same time. The dreamer watches one motivational video and says, yes, we are different now. And honestly, the dreamer isn't wrong. The dreamer sees your potential. The problem is, the dreamer doesn't wake up at 5 a.m. Because when 5 a.m. actually arrives, another voice shows up, the lazy one. The lazy one sounds very calm, very reasonable. 5 more minutes. Rest is important. We can start Monday. The lazy one doesn't yell, it whispers, and somehow, it wins. The lazy one loves comfort. Warm bed, stay, hard task, later. New goal, maybe next week. The lazy one is not evil though. It's trying to protect you. Your brain likes easy things. Easy means safe. Safe means no stress. So, when you want to start something hard, like going to the gym or starting a YouTube channel, the lazy one steps in like a security guard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That looks uncomfortable. Let's not. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Even when you do try, even when you get up, even when you start, the third voice appears, the critic. The critic does not care about your feelings. You're not good enough. Look at everyone else. They're ahead. This is embarrassing. The critic compares your beginning to someone else's middle. You post your first video. The dreamer says, this could blow up. The lazy one says, this is too much work. The critic says, it's trash. And now you're just standing there, confused. So which one is the real you? Here's the twist. All of them are you. The dreamer is your hope. The lazy one is your comfort. The critic is your fear. And none of them are supposed to be in charge alone. Let's use a simple example. You have homework due tomorrow. The dreamer says, let's finish it early and relax later. The lazy one says, we work better under pressure. The critic says, you're probably going to fail anyway. Now, if the lazy one wins, you procrastinate. If the critic wins, you feel anxious and stuck. But if the dreamer wins without a plan, you create a perfect schedule and then burn out in one day. See the problem? It's not about silencing the voices, it's about choosing who gets the microphone. Imagine your brain like a car. The dreamer is the gas pedal, the lazy one is the brake, the critic is the warning system. You need all three. If you only have gas, you crash. If you only have brakes, you never move. If the warning system screams all day, you panic. Balance is the goal. Here's something nobody talks about. The voice you listen to the most gets louder. If you constantly obey the lazy one, it gets stronger. If you constantly believe the critic, it becomes your identity. If you feed the dreamer with small wins, it grows confident. So how do you handle them? First, notice them. Next time you say, I don't feel like it, pause. Ask, who just spoke? Was that comfort talking, or fear, or ambition? Most people think they are their thoughts, but you're actually the one listening. You're the one in the room while the debate happens. That means you can choose, not perfectly, not every time, but more often than you think. Here's a small trick. When the lazy one says, tomorrow, reply with, just 5 minutes. When the critic says, you're bad at this, reply with, I'm learning. When the dreamer says, change your whole life tonight, reply with, let's start small. Simple, not dramatic, just small shifts. Because big changes don't happen from one loud speech in your head. They happen from quiet decisions repeated daily. And here's the funny part. Those three voices, they'll never leave. You could be rich, you could be fit, you could be successful, and they'll still argue. The dreamer will want more, the lazy one will want rest, the critic will find flaws. That's normal, that's human. The goal isn't to become silent inside, it's to become aware. The moment you realize, oh, that's just my lazy voice, it loses some power. The moment you realize that's just fear talking, it softens. And the moment you let the dreamer take action, even small action, you start building confidence. So next time you're stuck, next time you're scrolling instead of starting, next time you're overthinking something simple, pause. Ask yourself, which voice is talking right now? And more importantly, which one should I listen to? Because at the end of the day, the loudest voice doesn't control your life. The one you choose to follow does. And that choice, that's the real you.